Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Running 5K under 1730 with Hugo. This week, obviously more complicated than last week. Note that I'd like to say now complicated because that's what he says. He never says difficult, but he says complicated. So why is it more complicated? It's more complicated because it has 1600. This week, you will see that the workout did not go as good as it did the previous weeks. Well, it didn't go bad, but it was off split a couple of times. So stay tuned until the end of the footage, or if you're only interested in the analysis, you can jump right in. You can skip through it, but I mean, seriously, the final surge is really fun. So the workout this week anyways, it's 1600, 800, 1600, 800, 1000, and of course the final surge. If you want to skip the whole thing, at least make sure you watch the final surge. That's really fun to watch. Then I'll see you at the end of the footage. We'll go through an analysis of the workout. We'll talk about rate of perceived exhaustion, RPE or PRE, perceived rate of exhaustion, and some other tips and advice so that you also can incorporate miles into your training.
Bon, on est chaud? On est chaud. Allez. J'ai pas vu, t'as combien là? 1,47. 1,47. Aïe 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 aïe. Bon alors, comment là cette semaine
Un peu compliqué, ouais.
C'est un peu compliqué. Ah ouais, là. Toi t'es chaud toi. Toi je sens que t'as voulu te rattraper toi. On est chaud? On est chaud. Alors là on part du 600 mètres, on va arriver aux 1000 mètres. On est chaud. 3, 2, 1, go! Allez, il est chaud là, il est chaud. Il est chaud, il est chaud. Il est chaud, Hugo, mon Dieu. 64. Il réégalise son temps. Il réégalise son temps, mon Dieu. Alors, Hugo, cette petite séance d'aujourd'hui, comment c'était?
Ça s'est plutôt bien passé.
Ça s'est plutôt bien passé. En compte, les 1600, alors là, ça c'est...
Les 1600, ça n'a pas été très bien géré.
Ok, bon, il est un peu sévère, hein, mais bon, bon, je dirais que c'est un manque de energy management. Je sais plus comment on dit ça en français, mais bon. Mais je suis sûr que ça se passera mieux la semaine prochaine.
What's the takeaway from that? Why is it that Hugo was able to run the 800 and the 1000 without any problem, without any issue, well under target pace, while he was struggling running the mile? He actually never hit the split. He was late on both occasions. Even though I was cycling beside him and telling him his 400-meter split, he was never able to catch up. So what's going on? The 1600 is mostly aerobic, and your effort, your perceived rate of exhaustion, your PRE, is not linear. At some point during the interval, it's going to go exponential. And so every time you want to increase your pace during the second half of the interval, you will have to put in much more effort. So it will seem to you much harder than if you were trying to increase your pace at the beginning of the interval. You see what I'm saying? Running a mile during an interval session is not just about hitting a certain split. You also have to make sure that your pace remains consistent. Let's say you want to run a mile or a 1600 meters in 6 minutes. It means that you have to run each 400 meters in 90 seconds. If each subsequent 400 meters, each subsequent lap around the track is getting slower and slower, that's not the same thing as running the 4 laps around the track at even split. On the first case, when your pace decreases, it means that your energy management, your pacing was not good. And if you're not able to pace yourself during an interval session, during a mile, it's gonna be difficult to extrapolate that into a 5,000 meters. The next level would be to aim at running the last lap a little bit faster, or the last 200 meters just a little bit faster. By doing so, you're making sure that you were in control of your pace during the entire interval, right? You want to keep your pace constant throughout the session and constant throughout the interval. See, running interval is not just about running fast. The speed is not everything during interval session. Of course, it has to be at above a certain speed. Interval training is supposed to be uncomfortable, right? But within your uncomfortable area, within your uncomfortable pace, you should be also in control. It's an optimization, basically. See it as an optimization. You're running as fast as possible within your reach of control. Yeah, but I know what you're thinking. Mile repeats sucks. Yeah, I have to admit that it does suck. But hey, well, it's just the double of 800 meter. No, joke aside, actually, if you really focus on not running them too fast, you're not supposed to run them like super hard, Running them at 5K race pace or 10K race pace is a good start. And chances are that if you find them really tough, it's probably because you're running them too fast. And you might be rushing the first 200 meters or the first 400 meters of each mile repeat too hard. Start by trying running them at 10K race pace if you want to start mile repeats. 10K race pace, and focus on the first 200 and 400 meters, making sure you run them on pace or even slower than target pace. You will not have this feeling of I'm dying through. It doesn't have to be the case. It does not have to be the case. If you manage your energy and your pacing well enough, not rushing the beginning, then mile repeats won't be as difficult. Don't get me wrong, mile repeats are not meant to be easy, but not pain in the ass, not hell on earth. Alright? Now, going back to Hugo's session, he wasn't able to hit the splits on the mile repeats, but he was actually constant within his mile repeats, his 2 mile repeats. His sense of perceived rate of exhaustion is still, he's still learning on that department. He's not completely, For 1730, to me, I think there's no problem. My concern is the pacing. I'm not too sure how he's gonna pace himself during the actual race, which will be, by the way, at the end of this month. As for next week's training, that's gonna be my repeats, mostly. Probably 3 times 1600 and 1 time 1000, something like that. And of course, the final surge. If you have any comments, question, because this is a micro channel, it has 70 subscribers, something like that. So I will respond to your question. If you have any question about training, or anything running related, throw in a comment in a section below. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you like the video to this micro channel that I'm trying to grow. So until then, have a good run and see you. You can, if you just actually, if you're on the